What's up, guys? I'm bringing you a tutorial on how to create a custom thumbnail for your YouTube videos. It's always a good idea to create a unique and attractive thumbnail for your videos to get more viewers and also make your video stand out. So first of all, we want to know what a custom thumbnail is. When you don't create a custom thumbnail and you just upload a video, YouTube will essentially just select 3 random screenshots from your video and use one of those as a thumbnail. When you create a custom thumbnail, however, you can upload it to that video and that will take the place of the thumbnail, and it'll show what the video is about and a whole bunch of things. So for example, if you look at these videos here or up here, you can see these are all custom thumbnails and they have something unique about them. They usually, if it's about gaming, it has the name of the game. In this case, Angry Joe has a video of himself in some costume, firing some guns. So it's just a way to attract viewers to check out your video, and it's better than just some generic screenshot that you're going to find in a random video. So having covered that, let me show you an actual example of a custom thumbnail that's somewhat larger and something that you can actually see clearly. So if you go to 30ir.com, we have a bunch of videos here and other posts, but let's check out Arkham Origins number 2. So if you click here, then this is the custom thumbnail. It clearly shows the name of the game. It shows it's in 4K, and it's part 2 or number 2, and it's also in 60 FPS. So before I even start playing this game and choose any of the settings, I know what I'm getting into and I know what this video is about. So it's more likely that I'll click on it if I'm into this kind of thing, as opposed to have to play the whole thing or wait 5 minutes into the video to find out what it's about. So custom thumbnail is definitely the way to go. So the next question is, how do you create a custom thumbnail? So initially, you want to go to Google and get some sort of image in order to use for a thumbnail. But before we do that, I'm going to show you what the plan is here. So if you go to here's a video on my channel that I haven't released yet, and as you can see, it's just 3 random screenshots that YouTube selects for a thumbnail, but there's an option for a custom thumbnail here, and if you look down here, it says maximum file size is 2 megabytes, and then it gives you the format and whatnot. So the idea is to create a thumbnail for this video, and it's as yet unreleased video of Grand Theft Auto 4 with Ice Enhancer 3 and a bunch of mods, and I'm going to be releasing it in 4K as usual. So how do we create that thumbnail? So going back to Google, we can just type GTA 4 HD wallpapers, and you get a ton of results. Generally, I just click images and you get thousands of images that you can choose. Now when you're creating a custom thumbnail, my advice is always choose something that is cool, but something that's not too crowded or busy, because it kind of takes away from the whole thing, and it looks remember, a thumbnail is going to be small, especially when people view it on the right side of a YouTube page. If you, for instance, if I click on a video here, you can see these thumbnails here, they're pretty small. So if you have a lot of things going on, it just kind of takes away from the video, in my opinion. So you want to keep it simple and to the point, so you don't even have to spend a lot of time reading the title. You know what it's about. So this one right here is a good example, in my opinion. It says Metro last light, and I know, okay, it's Angry Joe, so it's going to be a review. Boom, I can click on it and view it if I want. But you know, something like this is kind of busy in my opinion. It's made by the same guy, but you know, it's just something, it's a personal preference that I would never choose a thumbnail like this. So having said that, we need to get a thumbnail that makes sense, that's you know, that evokes the character of the game pretty well, but at the same time doesn't distract viewers from it. So you know, there are plenty of options here. Since we're just doing this as a tutorial, I'll show you guys something that's relatively straightforward. Like, this is pretty good. You know, it clearly says, those of, you know, people who've played GTA 4 know that this is Liberty City, but you know, it's kind of like a far off view. I'm not really too keen on that. This is great. I mean, it has all the things, but this is of course a DLC map, so we're not gonna choose that. I think this one is pretty good. It's a top-down view of Liberty City. It gives a clear picture as to, you know, what the game's about, and it should tell people right away that this is the game we're talking about. So, you know, obviously click on View Image, and you know, you can right-click Save As, and go ahead and save it. And once you save it, of course, you need to have a photo editing program such as Paint or GIMP or Photoshop. I've used Photoshop for a long time, so that's what we're going to use today. So go ahead and fire Photoshop up, and you can go ahead and just drag the photo you just, or picture in this case, that you just downloaded, and here it is. So first things first, I always suggest editing the picture, especially if you're downloading it from the internet. You know, make sure that you kind of make it your own. You don't want stuff that's made by other people and just kind of slap it on there. I mean, it should be fine, but you know, at the same time, you want to differentiate yourself. So I usually apply some sort of filter. I have several of these installed, and you know, let's just go ahead and choose one. Let's see, something that kind of brings out, evokes GTA, that looks kind of, you know, noir kind of theme. Let's go ahead and apply that. Now, of course, there are other ways. If you don't have, you know, these custom filters installed, there are other ways to edit the image. So let me show you guys real quick. I know this is not a Photoshop tutorial, but you can go under Image Adjustments, and then Brightness and Contrast, Levels or Curves, and you know, you can make it bright, you can make it dark, you can adjust it however you want. So you can go ahead and, you know, play around with that, and once you get it to where you like it, go ahead and click OK. But in this video, we're going to stick with the filter that I just applied. So once you have the image edited to your liking, the next thing you want to do is, of course, add the title. Now again, this is just my advice, so it's not like you have to do it, but I figured that, you know, if you're a relatively small channel and you know, want to get noticed, you definitely want to have a thumbnail with the name of the game on there, the title. I know that some of the bigger channels, they come up with totally custom thumbnails with, you know, the name of the game not even appearing there. I personally don't like that a lot, because I just want to be able to look at the thumbnail and go, okay, this is GTA 4. I'm going to play it, yes or no. It's like I make that decision in the first 5 to 10 seconds of looking at a thumbnail. Keeping that in mind, we, you know, want to definitely have a title in there, so I just went ahead and imported the GTA 4 title that I had edited previously. And once you import that, you know, you can resize it or edit it however you want. This is, again, it's all personal preference. You know, some people may want it different colors, some people may want it, you know, with more special effects and whatnot, but you know, we're not going to spend too much time on that. This is just for the purpose of this video. We're going to keep it short and sweet. So once you get the title in there, the next thing you want to do is definitely add some description to the video. So in this case, it's a GTA 4 video, but there are two components to it. One, it's running Ice Enhancer 3, and number two, it's a 4K video. So we want to definitely, you know, publicize that and make people know that this is a 4K video and it's Ice Enhancer 3. So if you're into GTA 4 and you want to know what the mods are like, you're more likely to click on the video if it says Ice Enhancer 3 or some other mod like that. And then if it's 4K, that's all the better. If you're into high resolution videos, or if you just want to see how cool something looks, a 4K video is definitely something you want to check out. So to do that, you create a new layer. You can do that in two ways. You go to Layer, New, and then Layer, or do it the keyboard shortcut way, which is hold down Control Shift and hit N. And you can just name it whatever you want. So I'll just say, you know, Ice, click OK, click T to create a text box. You know, drag it however big you want. Enhancer 3.0. And we definitely don't want to, well, it seems like this is too big. So we're going to have to do that. Let's see, 175. And maybe we could do 200, I guess. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Now, then again, you want to choose a font that, you know, kind of sticks out, but at the same time is not like overbearing. You don't want to make one of those fonts that are like really hard to read. You want to keep it straightforward. Now, my suggestion is, of course, don't, you know, in an image like this, you don't want a description that's in black because you can barely read it. So you want to definitely go ahead and edit that. You can add, you know, gradient. You can go ahead and add a stroke just to make sure that you know, it really stands out. And just edit it to whatever you guys like. And it's one of those things that, you know, either you can go to town with it, or you could just make it really quick and easy and something clear that can be read, that's legible. The next thing you want to do, of course, is the new layer for the 4K. So you create another text box, and you can go ahead and add that. Maybe, you know, if you want to make it a little bigger, you could do 250. And, you know, you want this to really stand out. So, you know, maybe place it like, let's see, like right there. And you want to change the color, so of course, you know, it's not hard to see. You can go with some sort of like deep yellow or maybe brighter yellow, and then add a stroke so it's clearly visible. So yeah, I mean, you know, you could do as many edits as you want, and you know, edit it to the way you guys like it. And once you have the images as the way you want, you can go ahead and then export it, you know, and then upload it into YouTube. So the way you want to do that is you have all these layers. A general rule of thumb for Photoshop is if you're uploading any image to the internet, you always want to flatten the image. So what I mean by that is you have all these individual layers. You want to smash those together to make it one layer so that the actual image is not very large in size. So the way you do that, you just select all the layers and hit Control E, and it just flattens the image very quickly. Then, of course, you want to save as for web, or save for web, whatever it's called. Then this dialog box opens up, and you want to always use a JPEG format, in my opinion. Make sure that you select the highest quality possible, but you know, here's a little catch. As you see down here, it says if we export it or save it like this, the image is going to be 2.2 megabytes. And remember, when we go back to YouTube, you see the custom thumbnail, it says it can be only 2 megabytes or less. So obviously we have an issue there, and so what you want to do is just reduce the size just a little bit to see, and you see it drops down to 1.1 megabytes. When it does that, you should be good to go. Just go ahead and hit save. You can just, you know, save it as something different so you don't overwrite the image. And once that's done, you're good to go with the thumbnail. So once you click on custom thumbnail, you just come to the place where you save the image. It's right there. Hit open and it starts uploading it to your video. And there you go. And you see that now your video will contain this thumbnail for this particular video. So wherever it's embedded or shared or viewed, people are going to see this thumbnail and say, oh look, it's a GTA 4 video, it's in 4K and it has Ice Enhancer 3, I'm going to check that out, and they'll click on it. It's much better than having these three generic kind of random images that don't really appeal to people, right? I mean, it looks cool, yeah, it's an like an exotic car. There's a McLaren F1 and GT500 Shelby, but what's the point? It doesn't really evoke what the video is actually about. So that's it, guys. I mean, that's how you create a quick custom thumbnail for your videos. I always recommend doing that to gain more viewership and more fans for your channel. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Always drop a like. It helps, and please subscribe, and I'm happy to bring you guys more videos like this, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If this happens to Unity,